It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Harry on the top. Right hand from my buddy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast.
All right, so we got a lot going on here as we start hour two. We're getting into we're going to wrap up this baseball and then give you all the baseball plays. Just so we're clear, so we know what's going on here, Carver High. The rest of the week you'll be doing coast to coast, right? And then next week you're out. I'll be doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday without you, and then you'll be doing Thursday and Friday without me. So these next 2 weeks. The week that we're involved in right now and next week, one of us will be here every day. One of us might not, but it is what it is. But on a brighter note, eventually Labor Day will come around, which is the 2nd, and then the 3rd is a Tuesday, and then that Thursday, Chiefs and Ravens and the NFL season starts. But college football starts in Dublin, Ireland this Saturday, and then next weekend is outrageous how many games there are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yep, reconvene 2 weeks from today on Coast to Coast. That's when we'll be back. 2 weeks from today, right after the holiday. We'll be back in the mix as we get ready for week one of the NFL and look back at the first weekend of college football, the first big weekend of college football.
And then just one other note, and one other note, I'm sorry. As you know, I'm rude like that. I just cut you off horribly. Yeah. I'm a horrible person, as you know. September 12th and 13th, I think we'll be doing the show live in Vegas for the Canelo Berlanga fight. And, of course, I want to see this guy Berlanga with his big mouth threatening Canelo. What I want to see is Canelo hit him so hard in his body that his liver falls out onto the canvas. And then I'm going to scoop it up and fry it up for dinner after the fight. So that is the 14th, Mexican Independence Weekend. He'll be fighting at T-Mobile in Sin City. We'll be there for all the festivities. The Grid on the move again.
All right, there you go. We'll get back to the baseball now and finish off a couple things from last night, and then I'll give you all of tonight's games. All right, Royals beat the Angels 5-3. Salvi Perez, I was very upset the lack of home runs in this game, but Salvi Perez did provide some offense for the Royals. Bally Sports, Kansas City, the 2-run double.
Still 2-2. And it's a fastball that's ripped up the left field line and down into the corner. Here's Vinny around third. And the relay is late.
But this one he's ready for. That's top of the zone. That's Bobby Witt Jr. level right there. Turning on that on top. Staying on top down the line. The captain with a big, big swing.
And Salvi just demolished that fastball. Look at how fired up he is.
Yeah, your boy Salvi getting involved, Carver High.
certainly is. That's for sure. The A's beat the Rays 3-0, a two-run homer in the first by J.J. Bleday, and that was all that they needed. Rays bats very quiet at the dump last night. Giants beat the White Sox 5-3. Big two-run double for Fitzgerald. Unfortunately, he didn't homer. I'm in a bad mood with the Taters, so we are going back to the Bell Cows tonight. I'll give you a little preview now. Back to the Bell Cows. Whenever we get cold for a couple days, we go back to the Bell Cows, which is what we're going to do to the big names tonight to get ourselves off the deck a little bit. Two other pieces of news, and then I'll give you the games. The Braves are going to sign Gio Urshela, with Austin Riley going out, of course, for the next couple of months. Now, Urshela was just let go, Scotty, by the Tigers. Right. So he immediately finds a home with Riley, of course, going down. And it didn't take long, only about 2 months. John Sterling was gone, and they've already got him back in the booth tonight for a couple of innings at the Yankee game, as it's T-shirt night for him and Susan. So make sure you turn on a couple of innings. You'll get to hear John again. I know you've missed him over the last few months, Scotty. He's back tonight.
All right, so it's tonight that he's doing it. They just couldn't.
Correct.
It just couldn't end. They had to just keep
They're
rolling him out
giving away
again.
to John T-shirt tonight. So I guess John's going to be in the building, and if John's going to be in the building, you got to let him talk a little bit. You got to let him go into the game. So
somehow, some way, I don't know how it is even feasible, but I have the last rendition of the John and Susie T-shirt, and not only that, I have multiple editions of it. So I have 2 of them that I know are in the hamper, like 34C and Chop wear them. The John and Susie T-shirts. There's nothing worse in my life than having to see that chick's face on a shirt in my house. Like, honestly, my daughter walks in the room and she's got a Susie shirt on and I want to hurl. Like, as you know, I have never been friendly with Susie. So, and everyone just adores her. She's like the queen of New York. In what world? Like, I just don't. You will never get me to go to that parade. I am not involved in being friendly. I have never been nice, nor will I start being nice now. I do not want that T-shirt in my house. Get rid of it.
I have to eliminate the T-shirt. Get it out. Get it out of there. Finished. All right, here we go.
Give it the hook.
Right out the door. Get him out of there. All right, here we go. Everybody plays tonight in Major League Baseball. Let's do it. The Diamondbacks are back in Miami. Of course, they won last night. They'll try again tonight with Eduardo Rodriguez going. It will be Edward Cabrera for the Fish. Now, I told you this last week. I'm done going after Cabrera, Scotty. He's been very good for Miami his last 3 or 4 times out. Minus 130 for the Diamondbacks, plus $110 for the Fish, and a 7.5 here.
Yeah, I'm still on the Diamondbacks and Rodriguez, and it's not too juicy for me at $1.35.
It is not too juicy for you at that price, that's for sure. Next up, we will go to Washington. Not the most high-profile game on the slate tonight. The Rockies and the Nationals, 2 of the worst in the NL, getting together. And, man, a good gas can game as well. Austin Gomber and DJ Hers are the starting pitchers. Both of these guys have been torched so far this year. Minus 150 for Washington, plus $125 for Colorado, and a 7.5.
Over 8 and the Nats. Come on. Gomber Stabile can't beat anybody.
I am not one of the official Tater plays, Scotty, but I am going to play a couple guys in this game. Small, including this Chaparro, the rookie for Washington. He's hitting third tonight. Andres Chaparro, right-handed hitter, has a little bit of pop, hasn't homered yet. Gomber on the mound, lefty, gives up tons of homers. I'm going to take a shot with him tonight in that game. Chaparro for the Nats. All right, next, Cincinnati and Toronto again, north of the border. Carson Spires and Jose Berrios tonight, minus 130 for the Jays, plus 110 for the Reds, and an 8.5.
I mean, didn't the Reds beat them last night? I'm going back to the well, and especially at that price. Spires can beat Barrios plus $1.05.
Barrios gives up lots of long balls, too. Nice to see him on a Tater Tuesday, your boy. And I've seen some nice prices for Ellie out there, Scotty, if we'd like to see him step up and maybe hit a homer. The Guardians and the Yankees, two best records in the American League in the Bronx, will be Matthew Boyd against Louis Heel tonight. Minus 155 for the Yanks, plus $1.30 for Cleveland, and an 8.5.
I mean, it's unbelievable to me, but I got to take the Guardians at that price, at plus $1.30 over Heel. I just don't believe in him. I think he hit a wall, and I think the Yankees are very beatable in the Bronx, and I'll take Cleveland.
And also, this Boyd is the type of soft-tossing lefty that'll go in there tonight and he'll shut the Yankees down. You watch. This Boyd that nobody sees, everybody else hits him.
He's not giving up anything.
He's going to shut the Yankees down tonight. You watch. That'll happen in the Bronx.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry. Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
I'm assuming you're going to start with that Baltimore game in Queens against the Mets. Is that about right?
That is precisely where I'm going to start. The Orioles and the Mets, another night at Citi Field. Mets with the walk-off last night with Francisco Alvarez. Tonight, the Dean Kramer, Coffee and Kramer for the Orioles. Jose Quintana goes for the Mets, minus 115 for them, minus 105 for the Birds, and an 8.5.
Yeah, I think Coffee and Kramer's been so bad, but Quintana's no better than he is. And I'll take the Orioles at that price. They got walked off last night, and tonight they win at minus $1.05 over Quintana at Queens, at Citi.
Yeah, I like that up, and away for that tonight, Scotty. I think that both guys can get smacked around a little bit. I don't think you'll see what you saw last night. Phillies and the Braves, big 3 games in Atlanta starting tonight. Zach Wheeler and Ronaldo Lopez are the starters, minus 155 for the Phillies on the road, plus $1.30 for the Braves, and an 8.5.
I'll run line it with Wheeler and the Phillies at plus 110.
The Brewers, of course, are running away and hiding in the NL Central. The Cardinals are one of those teams in the chase. Frankie Montas and Eric Fetty, the pitching matchup tonight. Cards are favored, minus 120. Even money for the Brewers, who are just coming off sweeping Cleveland. 7.5 is the total.
So I bet that Phillies game this morning. I also bet this game. I bet the Brewers and Montas at Busch. And I got him at even money. So, and I might have even got him at plus $1.05. So I'm on the Brewers tonight at Busch over the Cardinals.
There you go. Brewers tonight in that one. The Tigers are in Wrigley Field tonight in Chicago against the Cubbies. It will be Javier Assad going for the Cubs. The Tigers have become this team now in the league where they don't announce who their starter is, basically because they use an opener almost every single night that Skubal doesn't pitch now. So who knows who the Tigers will start this game with, Brisky or whoever. Minus 150 for the Cubs, plus $1.25 for Detroit, and a 7.5.
Bubby Brisky. Give me the Cubs and your boy Assad on the north side of Chicago. Both of these teams have the same record. I'll still take the Cubs. I don't like that juice, so I'm going to go run line at plus 143. Give me the Cubbies tonight in Chicago.
Mitch, don't call me Helen Keller for the Pirates tonight in Arlington, of course, looking to bounce back. What was it, last time out, Scotty, in San Diego, where he got hammered last time he pitched? Cody Bradford is going for the Rangers tonight, who are minus 150, plus 125 for the Buccos, and an 8.5. How about this? I'm on the Buccos tonight in Arlington against Bradford.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm on Bradford. He's unbeaten. I like him on the run line at plus $1.50. Pirates will get swept in Arlington like everywhere else they go.
Oh, not with Skeens going tomorrow. They can't get swept in Arlington. Come on now. We got to at least win the Skeens starts. We can't be giving those up now here this late in the season. Angels are in Kansas City still against the Royals. Tyler Anderson and Cole Reagans, the starters tonight. Minus 190 for KC, plus $1.60 for Anaheim, and an 8.5.
Ronald Reagan's going for the Royals at the K. Automatic run line, plus $1.05 KC.
Red Sox and the Astros at Minute Maid. Ronel Blanco and Nick Pivetta, starters tonight. Astros minus 115, minus 105 for the Sox, and an 8.5.
I got it as a pick 'em. I bet the Astros this morning over the Red Sox again. I like Blanco.
Blanco there tonight. Of course, the Astros have been smoking hot as they get ready for Boston there. All right, late night games. Minnesota in San Diego. Get some soft serve ice cream in the helmet. Bailey Ober and Martin Perez tonight. Minus 115 for the Twins. Minus 105 for the Padres. And a 7.5.
I bet on Bailey Ober again. 10 consecutive quality starts for Ober. He's been awesome for the Twins. He's been, frankly, their best pitcher. Martin Perez has had 2 good starts with San Diego. I still say Ober beats him. I bet Minnesota this morning on a ticket. Give me the Twins.
The Rays in Oakland at the dump after losing 3-0 last night. Tonight they will try again with Shane Baz. It'll be Joey Estes for Oakland. Minus 125 for Tampa, plus 105 for the A's, and a 7.5.
I like the Rays tonight in the ashtray, and that price isn't bad.
Price is not bad. I think that you were able to count on one hand last night the amount of people that were at that A-Ray game at the dump. I saw some pictures on social media. I think there was 8 or 9 people in the entire place last night in Oakland. It was truly pathetic and a shame.
Embarrassing.
It was completely embarrassing. We've, of course, discussed this at length, but that reminded me, I saw that picture last night, 10 people at the game.
I mean, what do they have? Like, do they literally have like one concession stand open in the whole stadium?
That's the thing. Like, how could you have people even working there, right? Because there's nobody there to buy anything. There's nobody there to
pay them
to do anything. Like you say, there's got to be everyone who wants a dog. You got to go behind the first baseline. There's nothing else open. You can't. Like, it's sad. It really is. Across the bay, it wasn't much better, but there were some people there. White Sox and the Giants tonight. Davis Martin and Robbie Ray, the pitching matchup, minus 255. Heavy lumber of the night for the Giants, plus 210 for the White Sox at a 7.5.
I mean, over and Giants run line?
Yeah, probably. I guess. The Yankees are the only team that I would try with the White Sox if they'd win a game in the series. I'm not going to try it with anybody else because they probably will lose to everyone else. And finally, Seattle and the Dodgers in L.A. Bryce Miller and Walker Buehler go at it tonight. Minus 155 Dodgers, plus $1.30 for the Mariners. It's 8.5. I'm probably going to run out of time. You could pick this up, Scotty, after the break if you like.
Well, no. I mean, I took Seattle at plus 130. I bet him this morning. I bet on Miller. He's had about 7 great starts in a row. He's been going deep into games. He's been one of their best pitchers. I say upsets the Dodgers in stocks. They're 1-6 skid.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Right hand from my Perry, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, Carver Hodge ready to go. Some of the bell cows. He's going to bring it back into the hizzy for the tater time for tonight's games. What do you got?
It is Tater time, Scotty, on a Tuesday night, which we always love, Tater Tuesday, here on Coast to Coast. And yeah, I'm a little upset of how things went last night. It was not the best night for home runs. There wasn't a lot of long balls, especially from the guys that we were after. So what do we do tonight? We go back to the bell cows. Let's go. We'll start in Atlanta, where, yes, the Phillies are coming into town. I think the Phillies are going to win tonight, Scotty. But Matt Olson, pretty good against Zach Wheeler. 7 for 26 and 2 homers off of Wheeler in his career. Wheeler's allowed 18 home runs so far this year. Olson's got 4 home runs in the month of August. Can we put one in the chop house tonight for Matt Olson at a good price, too, plus 475?
Dinner for two in the chop house. Matt Olson going deep to right.
Certainly is. We went to Kansas City last night, Scotty, as we were going after Fulmer and we were back at Bobby Witt. We're going to go back to Kansas City again, especially with Tyler Anderson on the mound, the lefty. But we're going to go to Salvi this time. Why? Because Salvi always comes through for us when we need him. He's 5 for 17 with a homer off of Anderson in his career. Anderson's allowed 19 homers so far this year, plus 400 for Salvi Perez tonight.
Salvi time against the lowly Angels at the K, going deep to the fountain.
Let's hope so. Put one right out there. Boom. First inning, that would be even great. Next, down to Houston. Astros red hot with the Sox in town. And I always get excited when I see that Nick Pivetta is on the card. Why? Because Pivetta stinks. He's allowed 21 homers in 100 innings so far this year. That is not a good ratio. Yordan Alvarez has 3 homers against the Red Sox this year. He's got 5 homers in the month of August. Plus 285. We usually like a lot more than that, but like I said, it's a bell cow night. We're going with Yordan.
He always comes through for you and made us a ton of money, and they're going to sweep this series while they're at it. They're just getting started. I love it.
They certainly are. Next, the Cardinals and the Brewers. We got some good history with Rhys Hoskins here tonight, pitching, going against Fedde. 9 for 29, 3 homers in his career. Fedde has allowed 2 or more homers in 3 of his last 6 starts. Hoskins has been pretty good lately, plus 4 bills for him tonight at Busch.
Give me Hoskins and a little Willie Adames.
Yeah, we like Willie. Willie's number's good, too. I think you saw him around 475 for tonight as well. So Fedde gives up the long ball. We can absolutely get involved there. Next, we go to Los Angeles, where usually it's the Dodgers we're backing, right, Scotty? Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Teoscar, Freeman. Those guys are probably maybe homer night, but like you said, Miller's been very good. We're going to go on the other side because Walker Buehler has been awful. He's allowed 11 homers in 40 innings this year. Came back in his last start. Wasn't any good either. Cal Raleigh plus 60 tonight. How about 20 of his 27 home runs this year, Scotty, on the road? Dude loves getting out of Seattle. Going to be in there tonight at Chavez Ravine. We'll go with Cal against Walker Buehler.
Can we get a Cal Raleigh sighting and a long ball? And can we get a Miller win at plus 130 and the perfect night at the Ravine?
That would be great. If Cal could contribute to that, that's what we like to say. Everybody eats. If Cal Raleigh could do that and Miller could pitch well, everybody can eat. And finally, for us on a Bell Cow Tuesday, this guy, you talk about Bell Cows on Tuesdays. Josh Naylor, 10 homers on Tuesdays this year throughout the Major League season. He always comes through. You're getting him at Yankee Stadium, short porch against Louis Heel. Of course, on the left side, hit it right down that right field line, plus 430 for Josh Naylor tonight in the Bronx.
Yeah, I love that Naylor, what he does on Tuesdays. And J-Ram loves hitting home runs into the short porch and right at Yankee Stadium. So I'll go with both of them. I think the Guardians will give the Yankees problems in this series.
I do too. So there you go. For tonight, we are going to go with Salvi, Yordan, Olson, Hoskins, Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor. I told you there's other pitchers out there if you want to target them. Rockies and Nats, Gomber and Hers, both guys stink. You got Berrios on the Blue Jays, Kramer and Quintana and the Orioles and the Mets. Lots of guys who give up lots of long balls out there for us to go after. Let's get it.
I love it.
What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It was
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Right hand from my boy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
City, Carver High. I noticed that you had the windows open on Long Island. The fresh, cool breeze off of the water blowing through the house. No air conditioning. Chilly Nipsey Russell this week in New York for the next couple of days in the low 70s. What is happening with the Ferrall weather report?
It really is my favorite weather of the year once we make that transition. Some would call it, Scotty, football weather is what some would call it, right? I mean, you start to get that, forget the hot, the sun, you know, you get the nice cool breeze, the leaves start to fall. It's pigskin time, which is pretty much what we're at here. We're getting a little taste of it the next few days, and then a few weeks from now, we really start to ramp it up. All right, only 1 week left of these preseason games, preseason week 3 in the NFL. But we have some other things to do before we get to those games. Let's start in Los Angeles. We've had a lot of fun already here in camp with Jim Harbaugh being the new coach with the Chargers. He got some very good news today, Scotty, and that is that Justin Herbert is back at practice after the plantar fascia that he's been dealing with the last couple of weeks. So, of course, Jim, very happy to see Justin Herbert back out there. Let's find out how happy.
Able to have Justin back out there practicing today.
Great. It felt like the music should be playing. I even thought I thought I heard music. Voices of Angels, maybe. It felt great. It felt great.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How much of just a morale boost or excitement is that for the entire team?
I was excited. I think they would be excited too. I don't know if they heard the Angels sing like I did, but they might have.
Unbelievable.
Listen, my man is making so much money coaching the Chargers, and he has so much power. It doesn't matter what anyone on that football team thinks. He's in charge. He calls the shots. You're going to stick or go based on what he thinks of you, not the other way around. He's fine. He ain't got nothing to worry about in Los Angeles, your boy. No wonder he's in such a good mood. He is lock, stock, and barrel there for a while.
Cashing some really big checks, too,
while
he's out there. Just cashing big checks, living the Cali life. I mean, what could be worse for him? Well, just everything's great for him. Doesn't have to pack the shovel in the garage this year like he did in Ann Arbor. No doubt about that. Here is the Chargers' win total for this year, Scotty. Look at this. I think these are my favorite new preseason NFL SportsGrid graphics that we have right here. Giving you the 8.5 and the schedule there as well provided with that 8.5. So the Chargers, look, if Herbert stays healthy, I guess they got a shot to go over that number.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that in his first year in Los Angeles. He's notorious second, third year, taking off and winning big. I'm not buying that they're winning 9 games. I go under. And they sucked last year with Herbert and with Allen and with Williams. What didn't they have on that team? And Johnston, they had everything, and they still sucked. I don't see why they're that much better because he's walking around. I'm not buying that. Give me the under.
Yeah, you do make a point. Who's catching the football? They've clearly lost a few guys that were a big part of their offense over the past couple of years. I like that little bookend with the Raiders too. They play them week 1. They play them week 18. So that's always fun with the division matchups. The Atlanta Falcons, of course, have beefed up their defense a lot in the past couple of days. They added Matthew Judon from New England. Now, Judon, of course, was holding in with the Pats, Scott. He wanted a new deal. That's why he wasn't practicing. That changes now that he's in Atlanta. He's a full go. He's ready to rock. And why? Because he's got to prove something to the Falcon brass.
The Atlanta Falcons know nothing about me as a football player and as about me as a man or that stuff. They really know my previous resume. And so I can't really demand or ask for anything that I haven't worked for. And that's where I've been my whole life. So I'm going to work for it, man.
There you go.
Well, it is what it is. Everyone knows who he is because he's a badass playing football and he's a ball eater. I'm telling you, he's going to make a ton of plays on that defense, and so is Simmons. I think those were 2 great ads by the Falcons. Let's see if they can live up to all of this hype and the Cousins and all the stories. Yesterday they were trying to sell me that on this show that Penix is going to start. That's not happening either. I don't believe for 1 minute they paid that Cousins all that money to start that rookie. That rookie's going to be standing on the sideline picking his nose. That's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, I've heard some of those rumblings as well, Scotty, that, maybe Cousins isn't ready. Maybe that's why they're holding him back. I don't think it's any. Cousins is playing. I mean, look, I still can't figure out why they drafted Penix, especially after giving Cousins all that money. It's 3 months later, and I still haven't figured out why they did that after just giving a quarterback $200 million.
Because in 3 years, he's going to be their quarterback.
In 3 years, correct. It's just when and if you're picking 25th, like the Packers did with Love, I could get that. But
how long did Love wait?
Top 10 pick. I just feel like you got to have some impact, immediate impact type of players that you pick there, which they're not going to do. But if the kid's a baller, it don't matter. If 2 years from now, 1 year from now, 3 years from now, whatever it is, if he ends up being good, it don't make a difference how long they made him wait or where that they actually picked him. Atlanta has become a very trendy pick in the NFC, Scotty. In fact, up to 9.5 with this total. I saw the other day they're minus 130 favorites now to win the NFC South. And look who they open with. The Steelers in week 1 down in Atlanta.
Yeah, I still have a real hard time absorbing them winning 10 games. They're the Falcons, man. They butcher everything. I'm going under here, too. I'm going under here, too. Seriously.
They're the Falcons. That's all you need to say sometimes. That's it. They are the Falcons. All right. Lamar Jackson is not going to get any burn in the preseason for the Baltimore Ravens, and that's probably a good thing. Why would you want to get him potentially hurt? Is he going to be worried about any rust when he gets to week number 1? Absolutely not. He's Lamar Jackson.
I think I'll be good this go around, no doubt. I've been with my guys, day one, since day one, and we've been building chemistry, and I feel like we've been looking pretty good, so I think I'll be ready.
He thinks he'll be
Listen,
ready.
You have got to be kidding me. This guy could win in his sleep. He could be in his bed, and he could be REM sleeping and deep sleep and still win. he needs to practice like he needs to become a crochet knitter. Like, honestly, this guy, are you kidding me? 2 MVPs. This guy needs reps, time. What? Like, I mean, honestly, there's nothing wrong with him. He could start tomorrow drunk.
I feel like if you've been a starter in the league for like 4 or 5 plus years, and you've been relatively healthy, and you've been why even? What's the purpose of even trying to potentially get them hurt in these preseason games? It just makes and listen, Reed does it every year. You see it. Mahomes is out there throwing behind the back passes in preseason games. I mean, God bless and good luck. But I mean, I think you're just playing with so much fire by doing it. Just playing with so much fire.
Listen, I don't know how many times I got to say this. I don't care what Andy Reid does. I don't deny all of his rings and all of his success and all their championships and title games and Super Bowl. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying I don't play multi-millionaire star players in the preseason ever.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Right hand from my boy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
So you want to get the SportsGrid app. It's unbelievable on iOS or Android. It's free. Follow your favorite hosts like Carver High. Get all the skinny, the stories, the highlights, the news, the odds, the in-game odds. You can watch the network on the app. You can listen to the network on the app. It's phenomenal. Plus, you can get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on a Bench podcasts on iTunes and anywhere podcasts are available. As long as we're here doing the show, there's a podcast. If I'm here, there'll be a podcast. If I'm not here, so I'm not going to be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there won't be a Ferrall on the Bench podcast, but there'll be a Coast to Coast podcast because Carver High will be hosting the show with many guests as well on top of that. So make sure you check out the SportsGrid app on iOS and Android and our great podcast of Coast to Coast and Ferrall on the Bench. The Ferrall on the Bench one is a short one. The Coast to Coast one is the full 3-hour regalia. It's all there and everything. Make sure you watch us on X as well. We are live on X, SportsGrid TV. At X, you just go SportsGrid Live, boom, and you can watch right on X, streaming. It's beautiful. Go on there right now. Check it out. Tell your friends. All right, Carver High.
Yeah, and we'll start that off tomorrow, of course, with a big Golf Wednesday, Scotty, tomorrow, as we get ready for the BMW Championship out in Castle Rock, Colorado. So that should be fun with the high elevations. There's like a 640-yard par 5 on this course. So it's going to be a very big Golf Wednesday for us, the top 50 for the FedEx Cup playoffs indeed. More NFL for you now. Of course, Saquon Barkley is now in Philadelphia getting ready to play for the Eagles. Lots of high expectations for him down there. He just wants to continue to raise his game and become a great, Scotty, in the city of brotherly love.
I just want to be great, man. That's it. I just want to take it to the highest level that I can take it. And, that's my goal. Will asked me the other day, what keeps you going? That's literally the same answer I gave him. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to go. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep trying. And sometimes, the reality of it, a lot of people don't get to reach their full potential. But at the end of the day, if I know I can put my all into it and I don't reach it, when it's all said and done, I'll be happy with the work I put in.
Listen, he was the Giants' best player. That's all there is to it. And they let him go to the Eagles. They will rue the day that they let that guy go to the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, that is the epitome of idiocy. It really is. And his over-under on yards is 1,050. The only question, we brought it up yesterday, is his health. Is he going to play 17 games? I doubt it. He never plays 17 games. He always has something go wrong with his legs. He'll miss 3 or 4 or 5 games. I say he plays 12 games. If he plays 14 to 17 games, he's going over a dime. Know that. And then he's going to help them win while the Giants are sucking wind and losing. I got to be honest with you, though. When I watched him right there, I didn't even recognize him. He doesn't even look like Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
He looks like a whole new man altogether. Like, I don't even recognize that kid, the one I just looked at, because I knew the other one, and it didn't look like him at all.
He did actually get, Scotty, I saw, a little banged up today at practice, but he did return and finish the practice out, so nothing to worry about there.
He always gets injured.
That's the thing with him. He's one of those guys. You breathe on him wrong, and he's out 4 to 6 weeks. That's why they didn't want to pay him. The Philadelphia Eagles are, of course, one of the favorites in the NFC. They're the favorite for the NFC East. 10.5 is their number as they open in Brazil with the Packers. There you see their schedule there for you. They play the Steelers this year too, huh? Eagles-Steelers this year, late in December.
Oh, and it's in Philly at the Link. I'm going to have to go to that game. I like going to the Link in Cognito, as you know, Carver High. I may wear my BC Lions hoodie that Morency got me. I'll go in there in all orange, and no one will beat me up. They'll think I'm wearing a Flyers hoodie. They won't understand why it says BC, though. But here's the deal. I'm not giving them 11 wins. Not after what I saw last year when they collapsed. I'm surprised Sirianni kept his job. And, I've heard all this I can take from Adam about Kellen Moore. I don't deny Kellen Moore did a good job with Dallas, but they never win playoff games either. So the fact that he's there is, relatively meaningless to me. Like, I think what they have is they have a lot of talented receivers, a running back that's really talented if he's healthy. They obviously have one good quarterback and 2 crappy quarterbacks. And so I'm not giving them 11 wins. I say they land at 10.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Kellen Moore is not a great offensive mind, Scotty, but when you're on your 3rd job in 3 years...
Yeah, I'm not saying he's great at all.
When you're on your 3rd job in 3 years, you're not an all-time great offensive mind or coach. It's his 3rd team in 3 years. He was only in L.A. for 1 year. I get it. It's not all his fault. Guys get fired, things like that. But, I mean, you'd be in the same place for a while if you were that great. Great
And
offensive
why does he
line.
move around, do you think? Like, people don't like him?
Well, Dallas, obviously, we know why he got chopped there. McCarthy wanted to take over. He went to L.A. Staley got chopped after 1 year. And now he's going to come here. And what if Sirianni gets chopped after 1 year? You going to be looking for another job? You going to be 4-4?
No, they might make him the head coach.
Steelers-Eagles is December the 15th, 4:25 East kick, a late window kick in Philly for the Steelers and the Eagles on that Sunday. Week 15.
I'm going to that game. I'm going to that game.
Season.
Count on that. I'm going.
I have a lot more injury stuff for you. Matthew Stafford returns to practice, done some team drills, nothing crazy. For the Rams today, of course, he hurt the hamstring last week. Dan Campbell says that Jahmyr Gibbs will be ready to go for week 1. I guess he's going to say that every week. We'll see when he's actually out there. Caleb Williams is not going to play in the Bears' final preseason game, nor should any starter. The Bills have 100 injuries. I'll give them all to you when we come back. There's just too many for me to list in this short amount of time.
Yeah, Caleb's not playing in the final game because he's getting ready to play in the Super Bowl in his rookie year, and his coach is going to be coaching.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. I'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Right hand from my Perry, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining on the clock.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, here we go. Show me the offensive rookie of the year odds. Like, they've already given Caleb Williams the award and engraved his name on it already, haven't they?
They pretty much have, but I will say to you, there has been one name that has been moving up the board pretty steadily, and that is Bo Nix, who has gone, I believe, from the 20s and 30s to now 11-1, and the fourth choice behind Williams, Daniels, and Marvin Harrison Jr. So, yes, Caleb Williams is still plus $140, but Bo Nix, Scotty, shooting up the board.
Well, we saw the Broncos win total yesterday when we had Rank on from the Denver Post that they're not supposed to win games, that he's going to be the starting quarterback, but they're rebuilding and they're going to lose games, and they're just not going to be that good. So I don't believe that Bo Nix is going to be the rookie of the year. for 1 second. I think he's going to get that job, and I think he's going to learn the hard way, the painful way. And then, I still believe in Harrison. I really do at that price. I think Murray and Harrison are going to hook up like lovers. And I got to be honest with you, I think for my money, Jaden Daniels is more exciting than Caleb Williams. Similarly to how C.J. Stroud was better than Young. I always believed, and you and I had this conversation a million times, I always believed in Stroud coming out of Ohio State was better than Young. And Young went 1 and Young sucked, and Stroud was great. Same thing here. I think Daniels is better than Caleb Williams. People can laugh all they want. He's the number 2 pick, and he is the Heisman winner. So was Williams. That kid can do everything. And I'll tell you another thing. I don't believe in Williams running around with a football at all like he's some kind of gazelle. But I know this. When that Jaden Daniels takes off running with a football, you're going to know exactly who he is.
I agree with you. If I had to pick one of those two guys, I'm going to the window with Daniels right now, every day of the week, over Caleb Williams. I'll take my shot with him. I'm with you. He's going to be very good, I think, for Washington. All right, more injuries. I told you I had several from Buffalo. Curtis Samuel, turf toe. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a neck. Mitch Trubisky, knee. DeMar Hamlin, hamstring. All are allegedly week to week. And now Sean McDermott is not going to play anybody who has a pulse that's going to be on the 53-man roster this week in their final preseason game because the injuries have just piled up too much. So, what worries me there, Scotty, looking at that, I don't care about Trubisky because, like we said, he sucks and he wasn't going to play anyway. It's Samuel and Valdez-Scantling because, as we know, this is a different wide receiver dynamic with Diggs gone. And they need these guys out there with Allen as much as possible. And that worries me that potentially one or both of them isn't going to be there for the first game of the season.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. And I'll tell you one thing. I believe in Valdez-Scantling and Allen as a combo. I think they're going to hook up a lot. I think he's going to fit in there. And, not have all that sideline Diggs nonsense, screaming and yelling at everybody after every series, every game, home and away, just a cancer. I don't care what anybody says. That guy's a pain in the ass. And to me, Valdez-Scantling just plays. And he makes plays. I mean, how many times did this guy come up big in the Super Bowls? I mean, honestly, I think he's going to be great for Buffalo. It's not good that he's got a neck already and he's banged up, but he's still got a little bit of time. My guess is he's going to be fine and get right in there.
I hope so, that's for sure. The NFL says moving the kickoff touchbacks to the 35-yard line is not likely in 2024. Just give it up already. Just stop with the kickoffs. Just stop with the kickoffs. Care. You know what? When a team scores a touchdown, just go put the ball at the 20-yard line, and let's move on. It's such nonsense at this point. The constant changes and the tweaks and just get rid of it. Just get rid of kickoffs. We don't need them anymore. Nobody cares. And the Browns are listening to trade talk for quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Of course, they now have Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston, so they would look, if anybody offers Scotty, to get rid of him.
Look, I don't think that kid's the worst quarterback I ever saw. I think he's decent.
I actually thought Buffalo should call, especially with Trubisky being hurt. They need a backup. He's mobile, like Josh Allen. They could do something. I don't think that's a bad fit in Buffalo.
I'm telling you. I agree with you. I like his game.